What's up, gamers and geeks? And in today's episode, we're going to talk about.
Our favorite vampires and werewolves. Stay tuned.
And in today's episode, as you know, I am your host, Matt.
And I'm Rick.
And that's what we're going to talk about. Rick kind of came up with this one too. Favorite werewolves and vampires with some honorable mentions.
Yeah. And I focus mostly on vampires, but I do have a few werewolves.
Yeah.
So as far as honorable mentions?
Yeah. And well, first of all, before we do that, let me ask you a question. Because you like to focus more on vampires. So are vampires, if you had to pick between the two creatures, like, I don't want to say what would you rather be, but, I mean, which one fascinates you more?
I think I'm the immortality of vampires is kind of, and then the not aging of vampires kind of fascinates me a lot more.
And there's a lot of bending of the rules too, because I'll also go into Underworld where the werewolves were also immortal.
Right.
But go ahead.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Is it the immortality and and it's the ability to see probably so much history, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it would kind of suck not being able to go out in the daylight, but...
And again, there's more bends to that, but we'll talk about it.
I would be fun sparkling. I knew that'd get you.
Yeah, I think the only mention of Twilight's going to be in a joking manner, except for, as Rick would probably have, my wallpaper of Jacob.
Yeah. Actually, I don't have any Twilight characters on here.
I don't have a single one.
That'll surprise you. I mean, as an honorable mention, I'll just mention, there were some characters that on the Twilight series that were fascinating. I like the guy that plays Freddie Mercury. What's his name?
Oh, yeah, the guy that... By the way, Rick is losing man points. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I mean...
He's talking about Twilight. I am not.
Because of they give them like superpowers, so they're like superpowered vampires. So I mean, that's...
Yeah.
But the sparkly thing, yeah, that kind of loses it.
I like how Kristen Stewart's chick had about the same amount of expressions as Darth Vader. And people like, wait a minute, Matt, how do you know? Well, me and Mandy have a deal. When we'd go to movie theaters, she would have to sit through like a Fast and Furious movie that came out every year. And so she'd have to sit through what I picked, and I'd have to sit through what she picked. And it's funny, after we got through the Twilights, that deal stopped. We didn't do that anymore because I've lost 12 hours of my life I can never get back.
And I know that you've watched Vampire Diaries too.
Well, that I have, and here's why. It's got the greatest hybrid of all time.
Okay.
Now, Julie Plec, that writer, is just far exceeds whatever, I don't know what the author's name is with Twilight.
So you're talking Italian or whatever, because I've never watched the Vampire Diaries.
It's okay. If you did, they have a great lore of werewolves, of vampires, of witches, just really Bonnie Bennett is one of the greatest witches of all time. That can be a future topic, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So another honorable mention before, and I know you'll have some too.
Yeah, go ahead.
How about Lon Chaney and some of those old...
I was gonna go there with Boris Karloff. And, yes.
Some of those old school ones.
And the greatest Dracula of all time. And I'm drawing a blank on his name right now. He was buried in his Dracula attire of the 50s. What is his name? You had Lon Chaney, who was the Wolfman. Boris Karloff was he Frankenstein?
Dude, he did a bunch of them. But it wasn't he werewolf too?
I think so, but I'm drawing a blank on that. You have your phone on you? Can you Google his name real fast if you don't mind, bro? 50s Dracula. And when you see his name, you're gonna be like, oh, yes. It's so obvious he was buried in his Dracula outfit.
Oh, was it?
Yes. Who played and I can't believe I'm forgetting his name. I loved his vampire. Because when you realize the name, I mean, I can see him plain as day. It's so obvious. I'm so sorry. I'm drawing a blank. He deserves mention. He deserves to be mentioned.
Bela Lugosi.
Thank you. That's him. Now, do you remember the name?
Yeah, and it was 1931.
Oh, he's in the 30s. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, my bad. So yeah. Anyway, he was ultimate. Thank you, Bela Lugosi, Boris Karloff, and Lon Chaney Jr. are the kings.
You know, like the whole werewolf, Frankenstein, Dracula. Who was the other one? The Mummy.
The Creature from the Black Lagoon, and I mean, you had there was all those originals like the Mummy, Frankenstein. Yeah.
So those are good honorable mentions for sure.
And still fun to watch because they give you a good nostalgic vibe.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So yeah. But my honorable mention as far as werewolf, I'm gonna go. David Naughton played the werewolf in a movie called The American Werewolf in London, which was so ahead of its time with special effects. Yeah. It was I think it was in 1981, and Michael Jackson was inspired to make Thriller with a lot of the scenes from that.
So Michael Jackson's is an honorable mention too.
Actually, Thriller could be. I mean,
yeah.
But yeah, so the werewolf David Naughton played in American Werewolf in London, and I even like the follow-up that came out in the 90s called American Werewolf in Paris. Cheesy, but it was pretty good too. So and then as far as my honorable mentions for vampires, obviously Bela Lugosi is number one as far as the honorable mention will go, even though he's not my favorite. But there's some vampires I liked. Celine, Kate Beckinsale's Vampire in the Underworld.
Mm-hmm.
I really thought that was a great storyline.
She was one of my top.
So
she's wasn't an honorable mention for me.
She's an honorable mention for me because of the characters that are in the originals and the Vampire Diaries.
But if you think about her skills, I mean, straight out, just the abilities she has, the jumping ability. She was a death dealer.
Mm-hmm.
She was probably in those films. She ended up being probably the most powerful vampire.
Right. I think after Evolution, you found that out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, just for sure. I mean, and I know we're not talking about sheer power, but.
Well, no, but it does have to do with the race.
And I know you like the martial arts stuff, and she had a lot of martial arts going.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my number one werewolf is in those films, Lucian.
Yeah.
I mean, in Rise of the Lycans, that was I thought that was the best of the series, even though it didn't have Kate Beckinsale in it. You got to see why the Lycans broke apart and started to war against the vampires for the treatment of them. I mean, it was such a good movie.
Yeah, those were good movies, and I had him too.
Yeah.
So
he's the king of the werewolves. So if yours, I think if I had to choose over the vampires and werewolves, I've always chosen the werewolves because of just their I think their affinity to the moon, the full moon, and but I like more of the ones that can control their changing. Not it's not the influence of a full moon; it's at will.
And that explains why you like to run naked under the full moon.
Well, yeah, and I mean, Mandy still is to this day wondering why I keep chasing the mailman. So
that explains it.
I bark loudly. So, what is your favorite vampire movie if you had to break it down into one?
Oh, vampire movie.
Yeah. Because this subject, we can just kind of go all over the place with different parts of this,
I would probably say Interview with the Vampire.
That is such a good movie.
Yeah.
That is so well done. Anne Rice is one of the best writers for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that would probably be, off the top of my head, that would probably be the one I'd say.
I didn't care for the sequel that came out in 2001 called Queen of the Damned, although it was Aaliyah who, rest in peace, died in a plane crash in 2002. She played the ancient queen, and she did such a good job, but I didn't like the guy that played Lestat, After watching Tom Cruise...
He's one of my favorites.
Yeah, after watching Tom Cruise play Lestat and then watching Brad Pitt play Louis, I couldn't imagine anybody else even trying those roles out.
Yeah.
Interview is a great one.
Yeah, those were both two of my top vampires. And then, what's his name? Antonio Banderas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I am Antonio Banderas. And I'm too sexy.
So those are three of my top vampires up there.
My top vampire of all time is probably going to be. It's a tough one because Damon Salvatore from the from the Vampire Diaries, because he's a smart ass. He's an asshole, and on top of that, he ends up being the most lovable character in that series. I don't. You've seen Lost, right?
Yeah.
The show Lost. You remember the guy that played Boone, Ian Somerhalder? He played Boone, who died when they were up in the plane with John Locke and fell down at the plane.
I don't recall.
Okay. Well, he played Boone in Lost. He ends up playing Damon Salvatore in the Vampire Diaries, and he is hilarious. I mean, he's an asshole. He's openly an asshole, and he would. The books I couldn't read. Misty once told me that, hey, I've got the books. I'm like, no, those are aimed at teenagers. This show is aimed at adults.
Yeah.
And it was really good. So my favorite vampire is probably Damon Salvatore.
Yeah. I got a couple.
Okay.
I only got 2 left on my favorite.
You go ahead, man.
I mean, obviously, Kiefer Sutherland in Lost Boys is an honorable mention.
David, yes.
Yeah. And so, about Blade.
Yes, the Dampier.
Yeah. I mean,
which Dampier is born half vampire and half human.
Yeah. And so, and you're gonna laugh. It's almost embarrassing, but I come up with these picks that always get you, I know, but there's a vampire out there that has impacted the lives of millions upon
just shut up. Are you going Sesame Street?
Yes. He's impacted so many children out there. He's called the Count You Count on Sesame Street.
You know, I could say he doesn't count, and you could say, as a matter of fact, he does.
But if you talk about somebody who's had a lot of impact, that guy, he's taught how many kids how to count. Okay.
Okay, Rick.
A little bit of
you might as well pick Eddie Murphy in Vampire in Brooklyn while we're at it.
He is not on my list.
David is on my list, though. David from the Lost Boys.
Yeah.
I mean, he was awesome. Like, he made the Lost Boys cool.
Yeah.
You know, he did. My top 3 vampires are probably Damon Salvatore. I gotta go with David, because David from the Lost Boys, like I said, when you watch that movie, he made vampires cool. Like, I don't know what it was about it, but he did. And then if I had to go with a third, it's kind of tough, man. There's several different ones, but I liked. What one is it? It's. I don't know if it's going to be a popular opinion or not, but it's the latest Dracula to come out, where I'm seeing his face. I think he's the one that played General Zod in The Man of Steel.
Oh.
And he played Dracula, and I think that's him. And I really loved his portrayal of Dracula. I thought he was awesome. So.
Yeah, there were some ones that I hadn't watched. But I know there was some interest. I mean, my top 3 would be Celine, Blade, and probably Louis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Louis was awesome, though. Louis was awesome. But I also liked the vampire in the original 79 or 80 movie Salem's Lot. The master vampire that looked more like Nosferatu, the bald one with the 2 fangs right in the front. Remember that? I loved him. He scared the shit out of me, though.
Yeah. And I don't have as many on my werewolf list. I do have, you won't be familiar with him, but Remus Lupin on Harry Potter.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he was a vampire.
I think I remember talking about him a little bit during the Harry Potter episode, but...
You know, he was a teacher at Hogwarts, and he taught some spells to Harry that really probably helped save his life.
Nice.
So he was a wizard. He was a wizard and he was a werewolf.
Okay.
So
I like it.
And then Eddie Munster.
Jesus.
Did you know he was a werewolf?
No. I don't think I gave a shit.
Gotcha.
That's all right, buddy.
And obviously the guy on
the Underworld?
Yeah, Underworld.
Lucian?
Yeah.
Yeah, Michael Sheen. Who you know that, fun fact, did you know that during the making of the first Underworld, he and Kate Beckinsale were actually married and had a child together?
Hmm.
Yeah, they did. They were actually a
then,
couple.
And then there's another argument for Celine. It was Kate Beckinsale.
Yeah.
Come on, dude.
Oh no. I mean, yeah. I mean, hot. Yeah. But like, if we're talking just pure lore, there's just the other vampires that I like. I mean, like, because I don't know. I mean, maybe I could bump her from honorable mention to 3 or 4. I mean, just based on hot leather hotness. But
well, then you would probably up Asterion.
No, I would gank him again, and you know what I would do with that.
Sorry, I apologize, everybody. I got a little silly on a serious topic,
but we don't need to be serious.
But Matt does love Asterion, even though he killed him. And when I was streaming, here's the funny story. When I was streaming Baldur's Gate on Twitch, anytime I mention him, I'd go, Asterion.
Yep. Because it's so manly.
Oh, but he was an ass.
Yes, he was staring at ass. But werewolves. My number one werewolf will always be Lucian from the Underworlds. I love Rise of the Lycans. When what was her name? The wife. I don't remember the name in the film. Not his wife, but I guess the one he was in love with, Sophia.
The daughter.
Maybe that's the real name. But anyway, yeah, when he saw his love die, and even the silver crossbow and the silver chains couldn't hold him down, he raged so much that then he called out to all the other, feral werewolves that could never be human again, and that entire Lycan army came and just decimated them. As a great film. Lucian is my number one favorite werewolf.
Yeah. And those werewolves, the special effects, I mean, they were badass. I mean, they were huge and running on ceilings, and I mean,
they were fun to watch. I mean, the special effects in that were just phenomenal, and they keep teasing of wanting to remake all those, the new people. Leave them alone.
And when Saloon chopped her dad's head,
yep. See, and we're gonna get
he slid down. He goes.
We're gonna get to my favorite actual character in all these. But obviously Lucian, I don't have a lot of favorites after that. I loved David Naughton's, again, Werewolf in American Werewolf in London. I thought that werewolf was awesome. But let me ask you a question, because there's a character in the Vampire Diaries that spun off into one called the Originals. His name's Klaus Michelson. He's the first ever vampire werewolf hybrid. He's part of the original vampires, the very first family of vampires ever to be. But he was the only one in that family born of werewolf blood. So he always had that hybrid in him.
Mm-hmm.
And then a spell broke it by a powerful witch, and the blood of a doppelganger. He was able to break that and then become the actual hybrid. And nothing could kill him. Only thing that could kill him is a wooden stake made out of the white oak tree that was tied to his family. And he possessed the white oak stake, the only thing that could kill him. So
that's cool.
You should check out Klaus Michelson. Like, the hybrid that they made in Underworld is disappointing. Because if you remember Underworld Evolution with Michael Corvin, I love Scott Speedman's betrayal of the hybrid in the first and second one. But then you find out that all it took, Celine kept building him up saying, Michael, you are special. Letting him know that he is the most unique thing ever. And then you find out in Underworld Evolution, when they capture him, they just hold him upside down and bleed him out and he dies. If he's so special, how did that kill him so easy?
Right. Yeah, I kind of remember. The funny thing is, I never watched Vampire Diaries, but with Michelle, we watched Originals.
Yeah, you remember Originals then? Right. Klaus Michelson.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he's a good character.
Yes, he goes into Marcel's place, which used to be his house in New Orleans, and fights an army of vampires by himself and wins.
Right.
I mean, yeah, Klaus Michelson to me is the greatest character arc from both sides. I mean, yeah, he was. I loved his character, and what even more is, I'm a big fan of Vikings, and that's what they were. They come from like the Norway or Scandinavia area. They were originally a Viking family, and they were over 1,000 years old. So yeah, Klaus Michelson is my favorite character in the entire realm of this subject.
Right. And we didn't really go too much into the video game world other than.
Oh, we still have some time.
I,
5 minutes.
well, I don't have any characters, but I know there's like we've talked in the past about the Draculas. We've talked about.
Well, yeah, I mean, and as far as video games, obviously, if you've ever played the Castlevanias, those are fun. If you've played the werewolf or vampire in Skyrim,
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah, those are a blast. People are like they didn't do enough, and I agree. But mods do help playing a vampire and a werewolf in Skyrim. And look, my latest Baldur's Gate playthrough, my guy's a werewolf. He wolfs out. I even play Elder Scrolls Online as a werewolf.
You should have told Asterion that you were a werewolf.
It didn't really let me have the option. I don't know. I needed the experience and I wanted the weapons. Hey man, look, if I'm on the verge of leveling up and you look like enough experience, that's it. It's game over, man.
Yeah. I never even thought about killing him.
You can though in camp because you find out what he is. You find out he's a vampire, and you're trying.
Because he tries to bite you.
Yeah, and then you can drive a stake right through his heart, and I did. Well, look, I needed the armor, man.
It had a hole in it.
No, because he was in his night clothes. Remember at camp?
Oh right.
Yeah, I mean he's wearing those. I'm gonna gank him every time. Unless it's let me ask you this though, because we're still on the subject of vampires. Is it a story arc in there? If you have Asterion still with you when you go face down those vampires, is it important to have him with you? Does it count?
Yeah, because he's one of the 7. Because the Khazad-dûm, he's trying to ascend into a better vampire.
Okay.
And he has to have all of the ones that he's marked with the tattoos.
Okay.
There, and if Asterion's dead, he can't ascend. So you'd still have a horde of vampires there, but the whole story would be gone.
So next time, my next playthrough, I should keep Asterion just for this story arc.
Yeah, I mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will, man. I will. So if you had to pick one favorite character out of all of them, mine is Klaus Michelson, the original vampire werewolf. He would, by the way, if he and Michael Corvin got into it, he would destroy Michael Corvin.
Yeah. Probably the Louis Lestat, the interview. I mean, I already told you that was my favorite vampire movie. So.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and that makes sense because I really loved what Anne Rice did with that story. I loved it. I got to tell you, the way they captured vampirism from way back in the 1700s when it started out, and it goes, yeah. And I even love Christian Slater's character. He's like, somebody check my shorts, I thought he did a great job, and then at the end, Lestat goes, I'm going to give you the choice I never had.
Right.
Yeah. Tom Cruise was a badass vampire.
Death or death.
Yeah. Or undeath, yeah. But yeah, that's it. But yeah, Tom Cruise, he's one of the actually most underrated vampires.
Yeah.
So anyway, man, all right. Well, that pretty much runs out about the 20-minute mark, man. So
all right, very
that was
good.
a good episode, man.
All right.
All right, well, guys, thanks for listening. Please feel free to subscribe, all that fun stuff. This guy's relying on you, man.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, on that note, then, I am outro.
Me too.